Hello, welcome. This is sort of a behind the scenes of Travellers. This is the last time I'll have this background up, and I'll probably change it tomorrow. Sad, really. Anyway, moving swiftly on. First section today. I want to talk to you about sort of the process before everything else kind of kicks off, and that's obviously the writing. Now, Travellers was kind of written very differently to everything else, and I'm just going to show you how. Imagine a sort of normal script in your head. There's sort of a character's name and a line, a character's name is a line, and maybe a bit in italic telling you what's going on. This was written completely differently. It's just a whole bunch of text, much like a novel or anything like that, and that's very much the style it's written in. It's very much just a set of prose, and with occasionally just, speech with quotation marks around it. And what's great about that is it does several things. One, it provides a really good platform for the actors and me on set to improvise and to use our imaginations a bit, which I think that we really enjoyed on this one. I certainly enjoyed it. I know Leo enjoyed it. I think it suited the sort of the light-hearted nature of the project and allowed it for a lot of freedom. The other thing it does is it provides a very visual way of looking at it. So when you write the script, you're not so much describing, you're not putting down the words the actors are saying, you're imagining how it's going to look, and that really helped make the project look a lot better. And the third thing is just that it suited me writing. It was very much more like telling a story than trying to write very forced dialogue, so that helped a lot. And that was how I got onto the script. So from there, let's go to the cast and crew. Some of you might be interested to know that, in fact, the casting is actually very important in how I structure all our projects. I tend to structure our projects in order to have small groups of actors working together to create a larger overall cast, but not having to have many people in the same place at the same time, which makes things organisationally much, much simpler. Now, what you've got on the screen at the moment is the good team. The good team is made up of Alex Ferguson, who is wonderfully always on time. You have no idea how much I am grateful for that. Next you have the very beautiful and talented Amy Belfield in the middle there, who only got one line. Sorry, Amy. Maybe we'll give you more in something else. And finally we have Amy Oliver, part of the collection of Amy's that we're building up here at Jedi Squirrels. Now, Amy took over as our lead actress from the first person I offered the part to, and I'd just like to say thank you to Jo Lloyd for turning down the part, because Amy turned out to be very good. Very, very good. She really did excellently well, so thank you for that. Next we have the bad team. On the far left you see Fiona. Fiona is a friend of Amy's. They're both new to Jedi Squirrels, and I've taught them both drama over the years. She, again, was excellent, very giggly, but excellent. Then we have Matthew Kibble, our oldest actor in this project, who was brilliant. He also took over from someone else, but I'm very glad he did, and hopefully I'll trick him into writing some music for us in the future, because he's very good at that as well. Then we have Alex Jenks, our other Alex, who played like the lead villain in a lot of ways. It's sort of shared between him and Matthew. Now, he's never on time, ever, but he does do excellent voices to make up for it. Finally, we have my sister, Emma Richmond, who very kindly stepped in to play this role. She was very busy, but she took it on anyway, so thank you for that. In addition to these two teams, there are also 4 supporting cast members. Now, the first 2 on your screen right now are me and Leo, who are also the directors. Now, technically, I am older than Matthew, so I sort of lied earlier, but you see, I'm also a director and producer, and I only had a small role, so I don't, whatever. And then there's Leo, who is excellent, who would have liked to have done more on this, but he was extremely busy during filming with something called A-levels, which are apparently quite important. So, yes, that's that. Moving on, we had a very lovely actress who is much older than the rest of the cast, and also older than Matthew Kibble, obviously. But, she's an actress, then an actor, so, again, I wasn't lying. Anyway, she's Libby McKay, and she's a friend of mine who I met doing Beauty and the Beast at the Criterion Theatre, and she was absolutely excellent, and it was very kind of her to come and do this. And finally the lovely Emily, who did an excellent job as the news reporter, and that's all for the cast section. Hello and welcome to the production section. As you can see, I'm now standing in the location where we shot Travellers on. I'm going to try and do that for several of the shots from the location section. The more observant of you might notice that I'm wearing different clothes. That's just part of movie magic, live with it. Also, Jedi Squirrels! So, yes, in this section there will be some clips from production and also a little explanation of the equipment we used.
My arms are falling off already.
And you take off the Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah.
That might work. That does work well, but you won't be able to unroll them very quickly. I just want a shot of Amy looking angry!
Cleaning the lens because it got wet.
Stephen experiences some technical difficulties. We have a problem.
It's the okay, I'm gonna say you're okay.
No. This is so unfair! This is a location we use for travelling back in time to medieval times. Now, something I think is quite interesting about this, and that's on the face of it, we've managed to get something there where there's no evidence of civilization. And hopefully you can't hear it on the sound either, but actually, the motorway is just over there. So, yes, I was quite pleased that we didn't have too many car noises in that particular scene, but if you watch the whole of Travellers, they're definitely there. Right, how do we make Travellers? We made it with this very old, quite rubbish camcorder, which is why some of the picture quality isn't so good, and this, a very excellent microphone. Stereo, you can see it says left and... no, you can't, left and right. It does say left and right. Only small problem with this particular microphone is that it's brilliant indoors, but it'll pick up absolutely any sound. It's got a really wide area of sound picking upness. Whereas our new microphone, which you can see down here, that picks up sound literally just straight in front of it, so that'll be really useful from now on. That's the production section. I hope that was fascinating and enjoyable for you. And now, let's move on to some more movie magic. Right, and the last thing I want to show you today is kind of the post-production. Something that was quite important on Travellers. It's where we put in a lot of special effects. And you might be interested in how we put together some stuff and how rough and ready a lot of the things were, especially the blue screen, which you'll see in a minute. The question I'm asked most about special effects is how we do blue screen, how you get to something like this, and the truth is you start off with something like this. It's just a blank blue screen. It's much simpler than it actually looks. And what happens is, when you take it into the computer editing program, you just select blue and it removes all the blue from the image. So where you've got that blue screen in the background, that disappears, and whatever image you put in behind it comes in behind it. Very simple, and you can see that we've got a very rough and ready blue screen here, and yet it works, in this particular instance, quite well. Now, what really helps is good lighting. You need lighting that's a lot brighter than we have here, and that's uniform across the whole blue screen. And you don't want those little cracks in it that we've got. That's it, really. So, thank you very much for listening to this whole video, and goodbye.